Hi, it's Dr. O'Brien at 1:30. Um, yesterday's yesterday's thing was like four minutes and 90 whatever. And at the start of it, you don't see me, and think I'm wearing a red shirt. I'm having trouble dropping it in, but it was totally from the biography that Wendy, who I can't think of her last name right now, but we will quote her a lot. And I don't think it was my best, but I'll get it on there some way. And what's going to happen today, I would call a language arts miracle, because we're going to start with this workbook, Overcoming Bipolar Disorder by Bauer, Kilborn, Greenwald, Ludman, and McBride. That's going to go first. Then we're going to go, I can hardly see these. Why am I even trying? The Bipolar Survival Guide by David Milkowitz. And they're both on sleep hygiene. It's what I call a language arts miracle. Today is a bipolar back room miracle because they go together. And I didn't know that they would. Okay. So, this doesn't start out with sleep. It starts out with eating, but it gets to sleep. In this module, you will become familiar with the ways in which bipolar disorder can affect your physical health. We will focus on 4 issues that are important to everyone: diet, exercise, tobacco use, and sleep. Physical health is important to all of us, both for its own sake and for our sense of well-being and self-esteem. There are many aspects of physical health we could focus on, but we have chosen 4: diet, exercise, tobacco use, and sleep. Why do we choose these 4? Each is important in its own right, but these factors also represent special challenges for people with bipolar disorder. In modules 26 to 29, we'll explore specific ways to help you deal with these challenges. So this is module 5, your personal health. And I'm going to try something, because when I record in front of this window, there's no way around the lighting being bad. Give me a moment. This might work. It's a little better. Can we just do one more thing? And it may be a lot better. It's still, let me turn this light off. I think this is the best I can do if I record in my office. Okay. So we're on eating. As a human being, I'm not a good example on what I eat. I am on a silly diet that I tell my students. Full cherry Coke mixed with cherry Coke Zero, half and half. And then I eat all lean cuisine meals. because you can keep track of your um, calorie intake. I wouldn't recommend it for anybody who wants to be healthy, but I can lose a half a pound in a day and I can get ready for bathing suit season in a shake of a pig's tail. All right, so we're back to eating. A healthy diet is particularly important for people with bipolar disorder because obesity is common in those who have this condition, up to 50% being overweight or obese. Fangelina et al. 2005. This is probably part due to depression, which leads some to binge eating problems. In addition, several of the medications used to treat bipolar disorder can cause weight gain. Aubrey Ferrero and SCAD, 2007. It is important to note that these factors can lead to other medical conditions, with the most common being high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and type 2 diabetes, which involves problems controlling blood sugar. Aubrey Ferrero, SCAD, and Bauer. Constructing a healthy diet will be the focus of Module 26. So we're going to come back to this. This is so good, though. I just want to watch. I don't ever want to go over 20 minutes if I can avoid it, because I think 20 minutes is a good number. Okay, exercise. Exercise is also critically important, as you have experienced depression can lead to reduced physical activity. Lack of exercise can compound the effects of the diet risks mentioned above. In addition, there is evidence that becoming more regularly active may help with the management of depressive episodes. Frank, 2007. Ludman et al., 2003. Feeling like we're in good shape is also a real boost to our self-esteem for all of us. Establishing a good exercise routine will be the focus of Module 27. This is for everybody, but if you have bipolar disorder, it's key. It's key. And sleep hygiene can cause an immediate episodic event. Okay? It doesn't have to be somebody dying, a divorce, losing job. If you don't get enough sleep, you will set off something, either a hypomanic episode or a depressive episode. So the one thing you can do is control your sleep and your eating. Tobacco use. Tobacco use may be the furthest thing from your mind if you're already health conscious and have never smoked or used tobacco in other ways. If so, you are in a minority. For reasons we don't understand completely, individuals with depression or bipolar or a variety of other conditions become smokers at much higher rates than other people. Compton, Dimit, and Druce, 2006. Perhaps it's because nicotine, the active ingredient in cigarettes and other tobacco products, can sometimes have a calming effect. But then, before you know it, you become addicted. Some studies show that among people with bipolar disorder, a remarkable 30% are addicted to tobacco, twice the rate of the general population. Waxmowski et al., 2005. You know from sources of information like the landmark Surgeon General's report, Smoking and Health, HEW 1964. Tobacco use is associated with cancer, heart disease, and a variety of other conditions. It also interferes with getting regular exercise, which is so important for managing bipolar disorder. It'll go to voicemail. Don't let it bother you. And quitting smoking will lower your chance of having a stroke, heart attack, or cancer. So it's worth paying special attention to the health risk. Dealing with tobacco use will be the focus of Module 28. Sleep. We all have routines around when we eat, sleep, work, and socialize. Our bodies also have an internal clock. Our clock acts as a cue to help us with our daily routine by telling us when to wake up, when to go to bed. Keeping a regular schedule and sleep pattern is important for maintaining your internal clock. And keeping our internal clock in sync helps us sleep better and have more energy. However, people with bipolar disorder are often more vulnerable to factors that may change the body's clock. Sleeping and waking patterns, especially, may be disrupted because of manic or depressive symptoms. In fact, decreased sleep itself can lead to a manic episode. I just said that earlier. Structured routine of daily activities and sleep may help keep your biological clock healthy and on schedule. Most importantly, keeping a regular sleep wake cycle is a primary step in managing mania and depression. Managing Managing sleep, sometimes called sleep hygiene, that's what I said, will be the focus of Module 29. So, this is Tom's story, and hopefully, we can get to the other book before 20 minutes, but I don't want to read it too fast. Tom, age 47, has been diagnosed with bipolar disorder several years previously. Even though he took his medications and his condition was fairly stable, he noticed that he had gained a lot of weight over the years. Tom's primary care provider told him that he had high blood pressure and a cholesterol count over 250, suggesting that he had high cholesterol. She recommended that he eat less fat and get more exercise. But Tom's work schedule was hectic and his medications made him feel tired at the end of the day. He often had a little time to he often had little time to eat breakfast before going to work and usually grabbed lunch at the local fast food place down the street from his work. At dinner time, Tom was often tired to drive to the nearest grocery store, which was several miles away. Also, Tom was trying to keep up with mortgage payments and pay off credit card debts, and so he felt he couldn't afford a membership to the local gym. He tried to go to the gym at one point using a guest pass, but felt uncomfortable because the gym was near a college and catering to a younger crowd. A coworker convinced him to join the weight management challenge at work, where they discussed healthy eating habits and had a weigh-in each week. Tom also decided to save money by parking in the lot rather than from work and walk to his office. He talked with care provider who told Tom that not only did the medication he was taking in the evening cause drowsiness, but it also caused weight gain. They decided to change his medication to one that reduced these risks. After several months, he was pleased with his 10-pound weight loss and with facts that his coworkers had begun to notice that he was losing weight. Tom faced a lot of health challenges that many people do. In his case, they were compounded by medications used to treat bipolar disorder, his own effort, connection with others, and consultation with his care provider led to improvements to his health, not right away, but with persistence over time. So just a mention real quick, before my son went into teaching full time, he had an assistant manager kind of job at Whole Foods, and periodically they would have a weight challenge. And he did that. And my son has always been kind of thin, but if he gets a little heavy, he feels, probably heavier than your normal person. So I know he did that at least once, if not twice. So that's really cool. You know, you're sharing the effort with other people. That's really cool. So if something comes up for you, a family member, a friend, maybe you get your support group helping you and working on it. Okay. I got 6 minutes to get to the other book. Where is the other book? Give me un momento, por favor. Oh, shucks. They're both green on the front, but I'll go till 20 minutes and then we can pick up in here. This is the Milkowitz PhD. Virtually all people with bipolar disorder experience disturbances of sleep during their mood swings. When you get manic, you may feel no need to sleep. Sleeping feels like a waste of time, especially when so many things can be accomplished in the middle of the night. I'm not laughing because I don't think this is serious. Uh, During depression, sleep can feel like the only thing that is welcomed. When you are depressed, you may sleep many more hours than usual, for example, 16 hours a day, and become unproductive, unable to function outside the home. Hypersomnia, that's called. Alternatively, you may have insomnia and find the sleep eludes you. You may lie awake at night, tossing and turning, thinking about the same problems over and over again, and then feel exhausted the next day. Sleep can feel frustrating and out of reach. Are sleep problems a symptom of bipolar disorder, or do they actually cause problems in mood? This is a good piece of information. It appears that they are both symptom and cause. Most people have changes in mood when they have trouble sleeping, but people with bipolar disorder are particularly vulnerable to changes in sleep wake cycle. Harvey, 2008. I'll say more about sleep disturbances, disruptions, and mood states in chapter 5 of this book. Your doctor will probably ask you about sleep disturbances, which emphasis whether the which emphasis with emphasis on whether the problem is falling asleep, waking up in the middle of the night, or waking up too early. He or she may ask you to keep track of your sleep. That's where I was going next. If you have trouble recalling the nature of your disturbance, if you have a spouse, he or she may be affected by your sleep patterns, which one person can't sleep and others often can't as well. Your own irritability, as well as your family members, can be function of a lack of sleep or consistent habits. So I think the most important thing we said, and I'm going to read that sentence again. Are sleep problems a symptom of bipolar disorder, or do they actually cause problems in mood? It appears that they are symptom and cause. Most people have changes in mood when they have trouble sleeping, but people with bipolar disorder are particularly vulnerable to changes in sleep, waking up the middle of the night or waking up too early. And I'll show you that chart, which is not only about sleep, it's about when you meet the first person in your day. It's about, I don't know if they're really telling you like one news program and one regular problem. Like a lot of people don't watch regular TV anymore. A lot of people stream. So, yeah, I'll bring that chart next time. I feel like the fact that sleep hygiene, I want to think of a good word. Sleep hygiene was the overall purpose of this episode. So I'm really happy to see you. I hope I see people tomorrow, and have a good Friday night and a nice weekend. Take care.